stop out here. We'll make it a quick one just while we're in the waves. The rock type early on, we're going to check out some big sea caves at the start of the trip, thanks to the rock type. It's classed as Permian mudstone. We'll do some before the entire ceiling breaks away. When it does, it'll form a sheer-sided gulch, like the Devil's Kitchen, which is just 50 metres to the south here. But you can easily drive to the top of this and the Devil's Kitchen for a view down through the big formations early on. The further south we go, the more limited you are on accessibility, but bushwalking trails are stunning all the way along the cliff top where we're. So right here we're in the northern corner of Waterfall Bay. We'll show you a couple of our favourite caves here. There's a bit of a gulch this way. Remember, you are welcome to stand up while we move like this. You must keep a good hand on. We'll look through Patterson's Arch to the right, and then there's a beautiful sea cave extending out to the left. And it's about 6 metres deep when we stop in the corner here, and it's clear enough you can see the bottom. So you have to stand up to see that. Feel free to stand up, guys. Beautiful around here. Patterson's Arch there. Awesome cave out to the left.
You'll see a dark stain on the rocks down there. It's got a like black looking stain. Normally after the rainfall, that's where the waterfall comes down the cliffs and into the ocean. But over the last 2 to 3 weeks, really haven't had much rainfall down here. As a result, only a really light trickle coming down the cliff at the moment.
Have another look at a different cave just here to the right. The big sea stack between us and the sea cave. But notice how the big algae stopped growing and then the pinky growth takes over in the cold water, in dark water, so it's often deep you'd have to go to look for these invertebrates, but because it's so dark in the caves, they grow in shallow water. So snorkeling and diving around Waterfall Bay especially. Worthwhile standing up. coal bay, and it's an igneous type, which means it was a liquid. So as magma forcing its way towards the surface, it never erupted above ground, it was always trapped beneath. So their slow cooling processes took place. Because of that, and the composition of the rock, as it contracted and solidified, it crystallized to form the column-like structures it's renowned for today. Formed by this, including Mount Wellington behind Hobart there, and lots of other summits. From here down to Cape Point, we go across Fortescue Bay. Keep an eye out to the right as we travel south, and you'll see the beach come into view. That's as far south as you drive in the car. From there, you'd be on foot or launching the boat and travelling down the coast, just like we are. Some very popular hiking trails from Fortescue. So keep an eye out for that one as we travel across. So once again, a bit of a break.
Ja nie patrz, sobie razem zrobili zdjęcie.
But a few of the seals, the same as us hanging out in the calm on this side, the seals are doing the same. So I do a circle, we see the view. The majority of the little seals that live around Cape Point are called long-nosed fur seals. And they're one of two species to watch today. These are the smaller, and they're the only type that breed in the south. Later on we'll see the big Australian fur seal, we'll even let you smell them. They do not breed down here though. But I'll come round, we'll see some more further along, but just to get a glimpse of these little seals early on. But, you know, still, you know, nearly 2 hours.
Ale mamy szczęście.
So as we come a little bit further forward, you see both some big rock formations here. The totem pole's the isolated column of dolerite. This one here, 67 metres tall. The candlestick's the big cluster of columns, about 136 metres tall. So they're both massive, geologically outstanding, just proof of the strength of this rock type. Again, Jurassic dolerite. Very popular rock climbing here. Which is the most favourite, the skinny one. Even though it's shorter in height, it's the most difficult. And when we get in a bit closer, you'll see how difficult. More flybys, but it is up to the birds. They're massive and they can move so fast. So we'll try and point out some more birds as we travel, but then we're also looking for splashes and things as we travel along, suggesting some other wildlife around.
That's right.
So, 1 to 2 hours
highest dolerite sea cliffs in the southern hemisphere. 306 metres of vertical rock right here. Definitely recommend standing up. The only way to appreciate this is to do what I'm doing. Good idea, because otherwise they go that way. Harvard. Big tall cliffs, you think the water would be incredibly deep, but it isn't. In here we're only sitting at about 10 to 12 metres where we are now. And in a bit closer, they're only at about 6 metres up close. Seatbelt, no harness, 1,000 feet of air beneath them. We were feeling pretty nervous just sitting down here watching them. You ask after about a beer short of a six-pack, those blokes. Not my cup of tea. That lovely odour you're probably getting now as well is the seals around us. Not known for their hygiene. If you don't like that smell, breathe through your mouth, that way you can taste it. And we do actually bottle that fragrance and sell it back in our visitor centre. It's odoured to Tasman by seal. Great gift for your mother-in-law. Down off the cable, you'd load your people, your livestock, your goods into that basket, hoist it up into the air, drag it up onto the platform. From there, load everything into a steel cart that would be dragged up the tram tracks that you can see going up the island on a 42-degree angle, 250 metres to the top of the island. One poor horse, turn-to-turn stop ship, putting a horse in a rowboat. Taking that rowboat close to the rocks and then attaching a harness to your horse and then hoisting it up into the air. I think they definitely earned their beer at this. The only access on and off the island is by helicopter. This is maintained for heritage value only. So the big sea cliff we sat beneath, and the huge row of columns that projects out off the headland up to the right as well, that's called the blade. And when you bushwalk out here, which is very popular, you stand right out on top of the blade, way out on top there. Up here's a bit better.
Okay, so check it out. We moved into that warm air that rushes from the north. So much nicer on the other side, in my opinion. But check out the view back to Tasman Island. So you can see the tower up on top there. One flash every 7.5 seconds, visible from over 18 nautical miles away. Nowadays it's solar powered. Then you playing games?
By this direction.
To the east, 1500 k's to New Zealand across the Tasman Sea. But between us and the ice in the Southern Ocean, huge place, full of life, cold and rough weather, but they're the building blocks of life out here. So in fact, very productive. We'll finish this loop, we'll continue on. We might make one more stop. So this will be our last stop out on the open coast. We're not far from the mouth of Port Arthur. And there's a pocket of the soft mudstone here, so the same rock that we had up at water. Another sea stack at the entrance to the cave. But if you want to be up on your feet, that's fine. Just keeping your hand on.
Yes. Yes, Ernest. When they bit.
Run to one side.
Okay.
The dolphins will come up right close to the boat. So if you're on the right side of the boat, look down as well. You're going to see them on your side in just a second as well. They're very, very friendly. They will come up very, very close. If you're up the front of the boat, looks quite well known for their aerial work. They like to jump, do twists, flips, that sort of stuff. Very, very playful. On our cruises